Hello friends, in this video, in this session, we are going to see practical part of our chapter, that is classes. We will see the same example that I have already explained in theory part, that is box example, and we will modify that box example one by one to understand how it is operated upon. So first of all, we will create new project. Box demo. Then, as usual, I will create a package box demo. I will create a new class called box here. Here I will since we are creating definition of classes, I will not include here public static void main. Okay, so we will see one by one. Okay, this is my box class. Now the file name, to explain you, I have not included this public static void main while creating a class. File name and class name should be the same. Okay, and that will include your the same name that is same as class name will be your including your public static void main. What we will do is we will rename it as box demo. Because we need to create an object, of class box that will have width, height, and depth. So that class will have name as class box, and your public class box demo will have public static void main. It should be public. Why? Because while calling it, while entering into the execution point of program, it should not be private, it should be public. Okay, now this will have double width, double depth, and double height. Now my box is equal to new box. What I am doing over here, I am creating object of class box. Then I am computing volume. Double volume is equal to double volume, and then my box dot width is equal to 10. My box dot height is equal to 20, and my box dot depth is equal to 50. So this way I have initialized 3 parts using object name dot variable name. One object will modify 3 variables. Then I need to compute the volume. Compute the volume of box. Okay, how volume is equal to now let's try to access this width, height and depth without using object. It is giving me an error. What is the error? Width cannot be resolved to a variable. Why? Because width is defined inside the class box. So whatever is written inside this class box, you can access it only using the box object because it is called as encapsulation feature of Java. To access width, how you will write mybox.width dot into mybox.height, mybox.height into mybox.depth. Volume is plus volume plus value of volume. Now I will run this. Volume is 3000. Okay. So 10 into 20 into 15 is giving me 3000. So now let's modify this code. Okay. Now I will create two box objects. One is mybox.1, mybox1, and other is mybox2. 2 is equal to new box. Okay. Now mybox1 dot width 10, mybox1 dot height is 20, mybox1 dot depth is 50. And how to compute volume? Using that particular object name dot variable name. Now I will assign new values to second box object variables. How to write it? Mybox2 mybox2 dot width is equal to 3. Then mybox2 dot height is equal to 6 and mybox2 dot depth is equal to 9. So these two objects are having separate values for those instance variables for those particular objects. Okay. First of all, we will compute the volume of box 1. Volume of box 1. Okay. So same function we will repeat for the second box object. How to write? Volume is equal to mybox2 dot width into mybox2 dot height into mybox2 dot depth. And now I will run this program. Let's see what happens. Volume of box 1, sorry, it should be box 2. Volume of box 1 is 3000 and volume of box 2 is 162.0. Now we will introduce methods. Add a method volume to the box class. Okay. So simple method, first we will add here void volume. System.out.println. This will only display the volume, nothing else. Volume is then in the new line system.out.println width into height into depth. So instead of writing this all lines, I can omit this and only printing will be done. My box 1 dot volume, my box 1 dot volume, and my box 2 dot volume. So simplicity is achieved here using method. I will run this. Same output is there, and I don't need to write this for 2 times. This is just for a simple example. If you will having multiple objects like 1000 objects and 2000 objects, for each and every object instance variable, you would need to write this volume line. Volume of box 1 is my box 1 dot width, my box 2 dot width into my box 2 dot height, and so on. But since you are providing a method here, every time when you need the volume, you just have to call this volume method. So it is as simple as that. Now we will have method that is returning value double. Okay, so I will not print over here anything. I will just return the value, return width into height into depth. Okay, so when I am calling this function, I will get this volume in the variable volume, and then I will print this using volume of my box 1. Okay, so structure again becomes like in the previous example. Only thing different is I have not written this line because this line is already written in the function volume. So I just have to write what volume of box 1 is and volume of box 2 is. Now we will run and see what happens. Output is again same. Sorry. Volume is equal to my box 2 dot volume. Since it is not modified in this case, it is showing you the previous result, that is 3000. So we will have now method with parameter. Now we will add one method here. Void set dimension. Double W double W double H. double height and double depth. Okay. Now width is equal to W. Width is initialized to W. Width is equal to W. Height is equal to H and depth is equal to D. Now let's use this function that we have created. Instead of writing this, I can write my box1 dot set dimension 10, 20, 50. 10, 20, 50. Instead of writing this, I can write my box2 set dimension 369. 369. So after computation, it will provide me the same result. Now let us run this code again. It is giving me the same output. Now we have seen how constructors are created. Okay. Now we will implement those constructors. Default constructor and parameterized constructor. In this example, I passed double width, double height and double depth to the set dimension method. Instead of this set dimension, I can directly create parameterized constructor of box function that will initialize the width to parameter W, height to H and depth to D. So we will see how constructors are used. I will close this project. Now I will create a new project for box demo. Class box, but I will give it a new name because box demo is already done. Box demo 2. Okay. So this demo will be for constructor and parameterized constructor. New package for box demo 2. Then class. I will create a class box again. Box demo 2. But here I will provide public static void main because in the previous example I explained you where to write a main function and where to create a separate class that will have your width, depth and height. So this will be my main function class box demo 2, and another class box will have double width, double depth and double height. Now this box demo 2 is having public static void main function, and I will create one more class to have width, depth and height same as previous example class box. Double width, double height, then double depth. Now I will create a default constructor for box class, box opening and closing. parenthesis. Constructing box. Now I will initialize width is equal to 10. For example, height is equal to 10 and depth is equal to also 10. This is my default constructor. And to compute volume, I provide double volume and I return width into height into depth. Okay. Now in the main function, two objects we will create like in the previous example. Box my box 1 is equal to new box and box my box 2 is equal to new box. So two objects are created. Now again double volume semicolon. First volume, first box volume is equal to my box 1 dot volume and second box volume is equal to my box 2 dot volume. I will print this like this. Volume of first box volume and volume of second box is equal to volume. Now we will run this box demo 2. Constructing box. So first of all, which is called constructing box. Then I am creating object of class box. Before even you write a new keyword, always constructor is called automatically. So constructing box is displayed. Height width is initialized. Width height depth is initialized to 10, 10, 10 respectively. Then computed using my box volume is computed using my box 1 dot volume. Volume of first box is returned. Then two objects are already constructed while creating this one, and then volume of second box is constructed. Okay, if I will write it like this, here firstly this will be constructed, then volume computed, again constructed, volume computed. The output will be different in this case. Okay, now we will see, we have seen default constructor. Now we will see parameterized constructor. In the parameter, I will pass double W, H and D. Double W,